Good morning, it's Wendy Jacobs here with another quick little video message. And today I want to talk to you about something that is pretty dear to my heart, and I know that it's the experience of many of you viewers as well. And I want to bring it to the light. And what I'm going to talk about today, as I have been talking about many weeks now, is the experience of heartbreak and the journey that follows that, the healing process after that. Now, heartbreak is such a common experience. Most people at one time in their lives have experienced devastating loss, whether it's a loss of a family member, a parent, a pet, a child, a lover, maybe even a career or a vision that you had for your life. What we're really talking about when we talk about heartbreak is the loss of something that was dear to you, something that allowed you to have an experience of love, which is no longer available. And as a result of that, many of us go through heartbreak. Okay, so the reason I want to talk to you about this is that heartbreak is completely normal. But I must say that what I've come to recognize, not just in my own personal experience, but even in my own professional life, that it is probably one of the most underspoken areas that there is. It's one of those areas that I think a lot of people feel a lot of shame and maybe a lot of misunderstanding about what it is that they're feeling and the process that they need to go through. Heartbreak is essentially grief. The process of heartbreak, the aftermath of heartbreak, is very much the same of that as grief. It is grief. But it's not treated like that often. Not by our family, not by our friends, not by society. Often there's this view of, just get over it, move on, plenty more fish in the sea, or he was an idiot, or she was a fool, you can do better. There's all this kind of talk. But if this was a different kind of grief, and I thought about this a little bit last week, if this was a different kind of grief, if this was the kind of grief where perhaps you'd lost a family member or a child or something, then often we get the love and the support that we need from our family and friends. Often we find that those that are dear to us are there with love and compassion and understanding, perhaps helping us with our daily duties and cooking meals for us and really nurturing us and healing us through this process. But because heartbreak is really misunderstood by so many, it's often a space where many people are left completely alone to grieve. And this can be very difficult. I tell you what, heartbreak leads to depression, to anxiety, to a loss of a willingness to thrive and create a good life for yourself. And in many cases, people that are suffering from depression or really low mood after a breakup, many of them also find themselves suicidal. It can be a very dark place. So the point of me putting this video out, the point of me putting all my videos out, is really to bring to light what is a common experience, what is a common reaction or a common response to losing something that is so dear to you. So I know a lot of you engage in these videos and you enjoy them. I get a lot of private messages, and not many people really want to engage publicly in this topic. Yeah, they don't want to be seen to have an interest or to share or to make comments, because it's a place of vulnerability, and vulnerability is so scary for so many of us. Many of us prefer to walk around with a mask and pretend that everything's okay. And I understand that. I've completely been in that place too. I just want to bring it to light in this conversation today. I just want to absolutely normalize the experience of heartbreak, the grief that follows, the healing process that's required. What you are going through is completely normal, but you don't need to suffer silently in the dark. There is help available out there, not just through myself, but through many other professionals. And so I want to encourage you to step out, and ask for the help that you need. I also want to say that a lot of my videos, initially I was addressing women. I was talking to women. My overall banner is Phenomenal Woman, Stepping into Your Greatness and Becoming the Best Version of You. But what's been going on for me a lot in my private messages from people is that I've been getting a lot of requests from men who are broken, men who need help. And at first I wasn't sure what to do with this, but this became such a common experience for me that I felt the need to open up the doors and allow that space for men that were showing me some real vulnerability and some real tenderness. And so in this video, I also want to address that I'm extending my invitation out to you guys also that may be in need of my help and services, which is private one-on-one coaching that I do, but also that this first heart healing retreat that's coming up in Bali will be open to both men and women. And of course, Phenomenal Woman programs will be just for women. Okay. So what else do I want to say in this video today? I want to say that heartbreak is a completely normal experience that most of us will face at least one time in our life. Some of us even experience heartbreak whilst we're still in a relationship and silently suffer in that place because we feel shame over having or over choosing to stay in a relationship and not wanting to share the true heartbreak that we're experiencing. Why am I talking about this? Because it's painful. It's extreme. It's emotionally painful. And I believe that the quality of your life is the quality of the emotions that you consistently experience. And so if you're not happy, if you're not joyful, if you're not living a fulfilling life, if you're not living to your potential, then what are you waiting for? Okay. Now how? Each week I put out these videos in an attempt to help many of you that watch it maybe gain some little insight. As I make this, honestly, my thought that I have is if this video that I put out today helps one person, then I've done a good job. If one person gets something that in some way adds value to their lives, then that's a job well done for me. Okay? But what if we were also now going to be a lot more open about this experience of heartbreak? Because I tell you what, one of the things that I've learned is that by being a strong woman, or what I thought was a strong woman many years ago, was really about shunning a lot of the emotions and a lot of the hurt that I was feeling. There was only a select few people in my inner circle that I really shared the depth of my pain with, a very small amount. But you know what I did in that time? I also hid a lot of what I was experiencing. I hid it from my children. I really did. At first I hid it from my children because I didn't want them to experience the pain that I was feeling. I sort of felt that they were going to be in this place where they'd look up to me and say, well, what does this mean, Mum? How am I supposed to feel? And I didn't want them to feel bad. I didn't want to feel bad. So I did what I thought a strong woman does. Yeah, I exercised, I focused on all the good things, I made new friends, I traveled, I focused on my business, I dated, I did all of those healthy things. And those things are good. I'm not saying to dismiss those, do that. But you need to embrace all of who you are, which includes the pain and the suffering and the hurt and the letting go and all of those things too. And in doing that, you allow others permission to do the same too. I recognize that if I was going to be a strong woman and be an example to my children, and I wanted them to also be strong children and strong adults, then I needed to allow them permission to express all of who they are, not to shun down or push away the stuff that was hurting. Yeah, I didn't want them to grow up going, wow, you know what? My mum and dad broke up, and my mum was so strong and powerful, and she just charged on with life. I never saw her cry, not once. I never saw her upset. I didn't want them to experience that. I wanted them to experience the full range. And we have very open and honest conversations in my home in an attempt to not only share with my children the fullness of who I am as a woman and as a mother, but also to encourage them to do the same, to allow them to see the power in their vulnerability and to have the full human experience of all their human emotions, knowing that they're there to serve a purpose. Your emotions are there to give you signals. They're like a guidance system. And we have to allow ourselves to feel that, especially during grief. Yeah. And so what I've decided to do is that I'm going to release these videos that I've been putting out every week, every Wednesday. And the segment's going to be called Wednesdays with Wendy. And this is an idea that I've had on my heart and my mind for so long now. And I'm finally going to release the segment every Wednesday, Wednesdays with Wendy, which will be these videos that you guys have been receiving. But as an extension to those of you that would like more, I'm opening up a private Facebook group. And it used to be called Phenomenal Woman Sisterhood, but I'm actually going to merge that group or keep it separate. I haven't decided yet. But the new group is called Phenomenal You. In this new group, if you decide to join, I'll be making a lot more appearances, a lot more videos, advice, tips, mini workshops, keep you updated on all the events that I have coming up, anything that I think will be of value to you. And it's also a place for you to share and to ask questions if you like, publicly in that group. It is a private group, or privately to me, and I will answer them in the group. Completely free to join and completely free to leave. It's completely up to you. But it's my way of contributing to those of you out there that are wanting that little bit more help in this area and having a deep understanding. But we're not just going to be talking about heartbreak. We are going to be talking about all things life, love, relationships, heartbreak, sex, passion, and purpose. So I'd really love to see you join me here in the private group. There's going to be a little link that you can click on so that you can join. And If you do choose to join me there, I welcome you, and I look forward to sharing more of myself, my journey, and my knowledge with you, and hearing more about you. And if you don't, then perhaps I'll continue to see you here on Wednesdays with Wendy. But as always, I hope this has been a helpful video for you, and may your lives be conscious and filled with love. Mwah! Goodbye for now.